What's up, everybody? We are back with part 2 of our press series, and we are going to discuss the run and jump defense. What is the run and jump press? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's where teams will let you start to dribble the ball up the court, and then when they feel comfortable, they're going to run and jump or trap you and try and get you to make bad decisions. Now, the reason this press is so difficult to beat is because you always feel like you know the trap is coming, but you never really know when or sometimes where. And the purpose of this video is to give you an inside look at what the defense wants to do so you can always stay one step ahead. Take a look at this defender. You can see that he's cheating up towards the side, and the reason why is because he's telling that this is where the run and jump is coming from. At the end of the day, no matter what your press break is, it's a numbers game when it comes to this run and jump. There's going to be two people on the ball. They're going to match up typically with the closest people to the ball, and then there's going to be one defender who's stuck with two. So the sooner we can identify who the trap man is and who's going to be responsible for two, we can take advantage of this press rather than being overwhelmed by it. And one of the first things that we have to understand in any press is that teams never want to have their safety or their furthest back man leave the rim because he is the protector. So in this possession, that guarantees that this must be where the trap comes from. And the reason why is because this defender is the one who's taking away the first pass. And because it's a numbers game, this is going to be the guy who's going to be open. So as all of this plays out, there is one key factor that you have to do consistently. Against any press, always come meet the ball. Don't let it come to you, because that's where the majority of steals come from. Watch how this situation mirrors the last clip you just watched. As the ball is being brought up the court, here comes the run and jump. They're going to rotate to take his man away, and he is the flash man that needs to come back to the ball, and the point guard is begging him to flash back. He doesn't, or he's late, and it turns into an errant throw and a turnover. So the rest of this video will be broken down into when the defense is going to run and jump. Some teams will early run and jump with the inbounder. When that happens, they are always going to try and take away strong side and the trapper's man, and after that, they just want to speed you up and force you to make what I would call a user error, and we'll talk about this later in the video. And one of the biggest mistakes you can make against this run and jump trap, especially if it's early, is by having bad spacing. Notice how both of these guys run to the exact same spot, and you now have three players right in the same area, which makes it easier for the defense to trap, and it makes it more difficult for you to find an open man. So if teams are running and jumping with the inbounder, you're going to use the same principles that I teach in the diamond press break: sideline, middle, and back. Make sure you go and check out this video, because you will use these exact same spacings and principles to defeat an early run and jump. Another way that teams will run and jump is anytime before half, but not right away. This is where, if you are the inbounder, you always need to have your eyes back towards the ball and watching your man to make sure that he's not going to go run and jump, because this is the trap that happens most at random, and you always have to be prepared for it. So key number one is, after you inbound the ball, everybody needs to clear out, and then you need to maintain as much space as possible from the ball handler. The reason that space is so important is because when they do go and run and jump, you want to be able to see it coming from a mile away. The closer you are, the harder it is to react. So it's the responsibility of the inbounder and the man with the ball to keep their eyes on that defender, because when he goes to run and jump, you want to get the ball out as quick as possible, because now offensively you are at an advantage. Now, most teams who run and jump really like to trap over half court. And the reason why is because they will use the half court line and the sideline as an extra defender. Here it looks like New Hampshire broke the press, but West Virginia ended up getting into the most ideal trap that they could. The ball handler has no dribble and nowhere to pivot, and there's terrible spacing by his teammates, which means there's nowhere to go with the basketball. And this is something pressing teams love to do when you feel like you broke their press. They almost put you in a Venus flytrap, and they get you stuck right here in this late trap area. They deny all of the easiest passes, and even though there's a man wide open, because you're stuck in that corner, you can't even see him, and that's how they get their turnovers. And the other way that teams like to trap over half court is when you least see it coming, literally and figuratively. As soon as you turn your back to the center of the court, they like to trap from behind, because they know you're going to pick it up eventually, and then they try and match up with all of the immediate passes out and force you to have to see this skip pass. If you can get it out, then you've broken the press, but but that is the pass they're going to force you to have to make. And ultimately, keep in mind that the press is designed to speed you up and make you play uncharacteristic offense. So if they can get you to throw the ball ahead and take early contested jump shots, they're winning because they're forcing you out of what you want to do. So now let's get back to what I said earlier. User errors that I see against presses is this right here. You should never leave your feet to pass the basketball. As soon as you jump to pass, it's over. So watch how all these details that we've talked about come to fruition in one play. As the ball is being dribbled up the court, you can see Javon Carter looking back to make sure that someone's going to rotate to his man, and as he goes to trap, the ball handler leaves the floor. Now he's forced to make a decision he doesn't want to make and turns it over. So please keep in mind that this defense is designed to make you anxious and make bad decisions because you feel rushed. If you play under control and off 2 feet and have good spacing and meet passes, you won't just break this press, but you'll have opportunities to get open shots as the defense is scrambling on the other end. Make sure you check out our other press break videos so that you have a holistic understanding of how to beat every press that somebody could throw at you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that you get my new content as soon as it comes out. Thanks for coming through. We'll see you next time in the film room.